25 weirdest things people have been caught doing, according to Reddit. Number 25. I was an altar boy in my Lutheran church in the mid-80s. I was not in the rotation this particular weekend, but was in the congregation the Sunday of the event. Our confirmation class was full of red-blooded Midwest farm boys who, as the elders say, were full of the devil. If you were in confirmation, you did altar duty. My buddies Craig and Mike were working this particular service. It was the week after we had dead plants on the altar. It's some shit to do with Lent. Okay. In our church, there is a little room off the altar where we would go to get our robes and candle lighting sticks. I'm atheist and paid no attention to any of this pageantry. Also, in that room, the old school mimeograph, the type that used the sheet of ink to make copies of the weekly handouts. So the dead plants are in there, unknown to these two fine, upstanding young men. The little old ladies had treated these dead plants with 80s hairspray to keep them from shedding all over the altar. You can see where this is going. Yep, flames. Craig decides to touch an open flame to one of the dead plants. It immediately bursts into flame like last year's Christmas tree. In their panic, they throw it in the trash can, full of mimeograph ink sheets. It's a 2-foot metal trash can with 6 feet of flame shooting upward. What's Craig do? He grabs it and runs. Out the door, past the altar, down the stairs, drops the can in the middle of the stunned congregation, and yells, "Fuck!" and kicks it down the aisle. That's my man. It was epic. 32 years later, and I still laugh loudly thinking about it. Burned off his eyebrows. Ruined the carpet. I don't know how weird it is, but at the moment, I was very confused. Now it is funny as hell. On the third day, Craig brought out the flame and said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And then he said, "Fuck." Yeah. Number 24.
The whole place didn't burn down.
Well, you know, it had Jesus looking over that building. Lord Jesus. Oh, Lord Jesus, there's a fire. And Jesus said, "What fire?" What I'm talking about? Wait, that's the sound of a flame igniting. But maybe the flame of Jesus just burns out all other. Can we not? Number 24. In college, I walked in on my roommate in the bathroom giving himself a nipple piercing with a paperclip. Well, there you go. "Oh God," says someone in response, "reminds me of the time my brother cut the tip of his nipple off. Please explain," someone says. They go on. "When my older brother was younger, he thought that his nipples were pimples. He squeezed them, and when that didn't work, he took our mother's thread scissors." That's enough of that comment. Number 23. I used to play with one kid in my apartment building, and one time, I came by his place at the usual time, only to find him sniffing something, dipping his fingers in, and licking something in an old pond cold cream jar. Can we stop the yawning? Only to find him sniffing something, dipping his fingers in, and licking something in an old pond's cold cream jar. I asked him what he's doing, only to find his mouth covered in literal shit. This kid was pooping in the jar and then eating it. Safe to say, I told this rather.
It's still going. No, I read it up.
Safe to say, I told his rather negligent mom and never hung out with him again. I was 8 years old and still getting grossed out thinking about it 23 years later. This nigga pooped in the jar and was eating that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, "Oh, my friend's coming over, gotta eat all this poop."
No.
Oh, poop in a jar. How does one decide to do this? Like, I guess because I wasn't this neglected, I cannot understand the thought process. But it seems like part of the about pooping in the Pond's cream jar, which requires you. God damn it. Let's move on here. Number 23. I've told this story a few times before, but it remains the oddest thing that I've ever had the misfortune of overhearing. One of my friends had a housemate with a rather interesting evening routine, and he had, as far as I know, absolutely no idea that anyone else was aware of it. His first step, at least from what I could hear, would be to close his door and address some imaginary woman who had apparently sneaked inside when he wasn't looking. "Well, what are you doing here?" he'd say, his voice audible through the wall. "Uh-oh. Oh, wait, uh-huh? Oh, really? Well, I guess I'd better take my pants off then." A few seconds would pass, after which he would speak again. "So how about you get naked too? I'll just lay here and wait for you to be ready." "Oh, you're ready now? Well, go ahead and climb on top of me then." It would be several minutes before anything else would become audible. But then the next part of his routine would begin. Anyone within earshot would hear the guy's bedroom door open and then slam, after which he'd sprint down the hallway to the bathroom and slam that door. He'd be in there for a few minutes, the toilet would flush, and then we'd all be treated to a second performance of him slamming the door, running down the hall, and locking himself in his bathroom. So in short, his routine went like this. Click. "Oh, look, a sneaky woman. Now we're both naked." Silent. Slam. Rapid footsteps. Slam. Silence. Toilet flushing. Slam. More rapid footsteps. Slam. From what I've heard, he'd do this every night. At one point, someone suggested that he might have been talking to a webcam model or something, so they accidentally reset the router after hearing the guy's door close, but he went right through the same routine, talking to someone who wasn't there before beating a hasty retreat to the bathroom. Too long didn't read, imaginary intimacy, dumb dialogue, slamming and sprinting. Dude, you have to interrupt the routine by any means necessary. So the best way to do this is to have somebody in the bathroom, so that when he runs to the bathroom, he can't get in there.
What if?
And then we want to, because what we want to see is this routine go off the rails.
Yeah.
And in what scenario did this, happen, before the internet, where we couldn't get a little audible piece? Maybe he just had a ghost girlfriend. Get the fuck out of here.
I can't tell if he was delusional or just trying to convince people that he was getting some on the daily.
No, man. I mean, this is nuts. This is nuts. How'd you get in here? Every day? Like what? Number 22. I was caught by one of my employees at work eating a bag of Cheetos with chopsticks. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Reddit taught us how to do that so that we don't get the Cheetos all over our fucking fingers. I thought the lack of orange fingers was brilliant. He thought I was socially inept. Don't pretend that he didn't see this from fucking Reddit. Some neckbeard came in and said, sometimes you can eat your Cheetos with chopsticks. It helps with the cheese residue not getting all over your keyboard, and you can also dip it into your favorite cheese sauce for that extra monkey taste. Sweet Jesus, this could change the world. The idea just came to me, says modern day Prometheus. Dude, this came from Reddit. These fucking new fags. Y'all are just new as a number 21. Maybe not completely caught, but my sister-in-law tried on a pair of pants at Goodwill and in the pocket found a lizard skeleton attached to a string.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
That's so sad.
Why is it sad? The lizard's already dead. It's not hurting anybody to carry the skeleton around. And somebody said, so that's where I left it. Haha. Number 20. Worked at the factory and was taking a dump. Opened the stall door when I was finished, and I see this coworker who was kind of a nutty older guy. Anyway, we had these big round metal foundation style sinks in the middle of the floor, so he is standing there wearing his work pants, and his shirt is off, and he is fully lathering up his whole body with soap and water. I'm just looking at him like, what the fuck? Finally, I say, we can't shower in here, man. Turns out a hydraulic hose had burst, soaking him in fluid. He was just trying to clean it off while someone fetched a company picnic t-shirt from a box in the office that he could wear home. It was really funny, though. I really thought he had finally cracked. Well, as long as it wasn't awkward, you know. You can't shower in here, man. I've done that. I used to have a job of cleaning out the oil pits at the dealership I worked. Also, you can put clothes in the parts of the washer and they come out clean and full of holes. Interesting. Number 19. My father saw this, but he worked at some Amish cheese factory or something. But one day he just saw a guy pick up some cheese and fuck it. He just fucked it like there was no tomorrow. That sounds like a story a dad would tell you. I was at the cheese factory the other day and I saw a guy pick up some cheese. You know what he did with that cheese? You listening to me, sonny boy? You know what he did with it? He just fucked it. He fucked that cheese. Fucked it like there was no tomorrow. He fucked that cheese all the way to the bank. My dad refuses to eat.
Why do you sound like Plinkett right now? Is that your Amish?
My dad. Why does he have to be Amish to work at the Amish cheese factory? Racist. That's not really a race, Kyle. It's okay. It's okay. I can still say that. My dad refuses to eat any cheese. It's been 23 years since that happened because one man fucked some cheese. So that's how they make the Swiss cheese. Yeah, ding, 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 ding. Let's get the fuck out of here. What is this? Oh my god.
I love it.
Is this a real Mickey Mouse cartoon?
Of course. What would make you doubt if...
There's a real Mickey Mouse cartoon.
Why would you doubt its authenticity?
Because Mickey has a boner. And he's taking cheese with no holes in it and producing Swiss cheese after he dicks the cheese. Do you not see this?
I didn't notice that, no.
You didn't notice that?
No, I thought it was just like a broom or something.
Nigga, what the fuck? What is going on in the world, Stripes? And the cartoons are teaching these people to do this shit. So, like, you know, who's really in the wrong? Fucking Walt Disney. That dirty motherfucker. Number 18, man. God, the dicks in the cheese. We've probably eaten cheese with dicks in them. All I like is American sliced cheese, though, right? Probably safe to say that.
That's not cheese. That's not even cheese. They can't call it cheese. That's why they just call it slices. They can't legally call that cheese.
Man, suck my ass. Number 18. I once saw an elderly woman at a storage unit. She walked in with a handful of letters, and when she opened her locker, there was nothing inside but a heap of unopened letters that was almost as tall as she was. We left before she did, and she apparently had parked next to us because there was a car that had the interior filled with mail. There was literally only a small space for the driver. Everything else, all the way to the ceiling, was mail. The lady was approximately 75 to 80. It happened in 2001. The storage unit was in Pensacola, Florida. If someone wanted to play detective and ask about it. That's Pepe Sylvia's mail. I don't know who Pepe Sylvia is. Maybe I don't read enough books. No, this is a character from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. A reference that goes over my head as usual. Tell me all about it in the comment section for people who watch that show and I don't. You don't watch Always Sunny? Love that show. Number 17, man. Man on the subway casually took a halved lime out of his sock, squeezed the juice into his hand, rubbed it on his face and neck, and then put the half back in his sock as if nothing happened. Was he twirling a cane at the same time? Like, what a badass.
Is that like aftershave or?
To be fair, lime smells pretty good, and a lot of aftershaves have citrus notes anyway. Not like he was rubbing his face with his own feces or pencils from the oven. Pencils from the oven? What? Okay, anyone who sees this and thinks rubbing yourself with lime juice might be a good idea, please understand this is incredibly dangerous. It causes your skin to become incredibly susceptible to UV damage, and you'll suffer horrible burns. Buy some citrus scented spray if you want to smell nice. Good. Thanks for the lesson, bro.
Susceptible to UVA spray, like the incandescent lights,
I
or
think there's a phone in this house that's ringing, but we don't have a house phone. Things are really getting out of control and spooky in the Kyle household. You know, there are certain rooms in the house that have never been entered.
no,
Let's not
that's
talk
not
about the
something.
Kyle house. Anyway, number 16. I was waiting in my car to pick up my boyfriend from campus, and a guy was making his way across the otherwise empty sidewalk, gesticulating wildly while conversing angrily with a squirrel. The squirrel was following him, and every few feet he turned around to yell at it. It would stop and listen, but every time he tried to walk off, the squirrel resumed following him. The whole cycle would just start over. It was amazing. I'll never forget it. Damn, that's amazing. It reminds me of The Crow Won't Go. Is this an animated short?
He keeps coming back over to me.
The Crow Won't Go.
He was sitting on the wall. He keeps
Oh, I
kind
love
of
this
like
one.
right there.
Yeah.
Like it comes up to the guy and he's just like, hey, you're my friend? You're my friend? The crow's like, you're my friend? You're gonna be friend? You're my friend.
And the parent crows are upset, right?
Oh, well, he says that, like, you can't just be over here, man. They're gonna be bad.
Really get going.
You gotta go. The crow won't go. And he's like, hey, you're my friend? You're my friend.
Oh,
Yeah, but he's like hanging out and like and like I always figure like if he's got like other crows with him, they're like, what are you doing out there? What are you doing? And he's like, he's my friend. Oh my god. Number 15. Park ranger here. Part of my responsibilities are to lock bathrooms after the parks close. Walked into a single stall bathroom to find a small, approximately 50-year-old Asian man in this bathroom. He was 100% naked, staring into the mirror, vigorously beating off. Ooh, he was spanking that penis. As soon as I walked into the room, he turned around, looked at me, then turned back to the mirror and continued. I had no idea what to do. They don't train you for this shit. I'm not getting paid enough for this shit. If you can't beat them, join them. This is my most upvoted comment. Number 14. Caught my very white cousin standing very still while his black friend was running circles around him outside. Both had their pants down, and when asked what the fuck they were doing, they said making a solar eclipse. Their pants down. Oh my god. What could you comment to this? Oh, Bill Nye and Neil. They're science bros. Bill Nye, the science guy. Imagine if they were that kind of crazy as kids. Oh man. Number 13. Where's this 14? Number 13. The question reminds me of this GIF. What's the weirdest thing you've caught somebody doing? Dog's like in there with the lights off.
Does he stop? Nope.
Yeah, he stops. He like looks at the dude who's walked in. The idea of dogs fucking something that you're putting your face on. Fucking animals. Ugh. I'm fucking dying. I've watched it probably 20 times already. Just what he's holding up his head in the air like, oh yeah. Then the quick look towards the door. It's not what it looks like. You people and personifying these animals. Okay.
What do you mean, you people? Is it directed at me?
No, I'm just everybody. I mean, you can take offense if you want. It makes it more funny. Stupid motherfucker. Number 12. Mentioned this before, I think. I walked into the bathroom at a bar, and the guy was getting a blowjob while sitting in the urinal. Bare ass in the urinal. Ew. I walked into a men's restroom at Sydney Airport once. There is a line of separate urinals. About 10 men are standing peeing as you do. One Chinese man had his pants around his ankles and was sitting in one. A pained look on his face as he strained. No one seemed to care.
Oh.
Well, somebody says I'm not going to be the one to tell him he's doing it wrong. I might, only because I've had to remove shit from a urinal once, and let me tell you that there's literally no good way of doing it. Not like a long piece of cardboard to try to like scrape under it or something. Well, you know, depends on how goopy it is. You know what I'm talking about, Stripes? How
consistency?
goopy.
You want to talk about the consistency of the poop?
Depends on how goopy it is. We got a fucking video with Mickey Mouse with a boner fucking a piece of cheese talking about I'm making Swiss cheese, huh? Fucking. My autistic brother once pooped in an airport urinal. I was chasing after him into the washroom, and he just dropped trowel and immediately went at it. There was no stopping it, as the guy pissing next to him watched in horror. The worst part is, the janitor came in just as my brother finished, and the look on his face as he saw a mound of feces in the urinal was heartbreaking. I profusely apologized, gave him $20, and escorted my brother out. Classy move on your part, giving the dude some extra cash for that shitty task. I mean, whatever, man.
I didn't know you can tip your janitors.
You can tip anybody, dude, especially when you get caught like that. And he probably just added that for the story. That janitor probably didn't get no fucking money. People just say shit like that when they don't mean it, you know what I mean? They pull a Hillary Clinton, if you know what I'm talking about. Number, maybe it's 11. Caught my brother. What?
I think it's 10.
Number 10. Caught my brother making out with a poster-sized photo of Marilyn Monroe. I forgot about it until I saw this. Better Monroe than Manson. Nah, Marilyn Manson would be the edgier one. That's what you want. That's pretty badass. Okay. Number 9. I was walking up to a friend's place and looked through the window and saw his roommate sitting alone in the semi-darkness, chugging ranch dressing from a bottle. He must have been just doing it for reactions, dude. Couldn't be ranch dressing. But what's like that white that could be convincing from an angle? Man.
Tartar sauce?
He saw me see him drinking it. He put it down very quickly and I went and knocked. The roommate answered the door, and I just pretended I hadn't seen him and never said anything about it to this day. Ranch it up. You know what I mean? Number 8. My friend Abby had an enormous golden brown cat. I went to her house one day. Her mother opened the door. Where's Abby? She's in her room. I walk upstairs and hear a low sustained growling as I get to the door. I open the door without knocking. Abby is on her hands and knees, and her butt's towards the door. The cat is in front of her, straining to get away. Abby is holding the end of a white plastic bag that the cat swallowed and which is now protruding from its asshole. Wait. Wait.
It ate the bag and now...
Let me say this again. Okay.
No.
Abby is on her hands and knees with her butt towards the door. The cat is in front of her, straining to get away. Abby is holding the end of a white plastic bag that the cat swallowed and which is now protruding from its asshole. Just as I enter, the growling reaches a crescendo. Abby maintains a steady tension as the cat pulls away, and the bag comes smoothly out. White and dotted and streaked with brown cat shit. I would just be like, nope, and leave the room. I guess the bag's out of the cat now. You stupid motherfucker. I'm so tired of these goddamn turns the phrase, man. Stupid bitch. I guess the bag's out of the cat now, man. I guess the bag's out of the cat now. You're better than we deserve. We're not worthy, says another commenter.
How did the cat eat the bag whole?
Cats are fucking stupid. Gilded 11 times.
Oh no.
Welcome to Reddit, man. Number 7. A little girl in tears was screaming at an owl to bring her mommy back. Don't tease that little girl. We don't know about the mystical shit going on in the world, man.
Maybe there's some missing context that would make this a little more...
Imagine how the owl felt, says someone. I'd say it didn't give a hoot. Yep. Somebody is out there gilding the fuck out of these, like, dumbass, like, puns. You see what I'm saying? And it got more upvotes than this one did. Bring back my mommy. Who? You know very well who. Who? My mommy, you stupid owl. Who? I hate you, owl. Okay. I'm like dying here. Number 6. Walked in on my 18-year-old cousin jerking off on my bed with my laptop at the family Christmas party when I was 14. He was smelling a pair of my used underwear and was just going at it. Strangely enough, he got arrested and charged for sex with a minor and has spent the last couple of years in jail. Also, at his trial, they were discussing giving him 2 years in prison and 1 year of probation after a plea deal or something of the sort. Against the advice of his lawyer, he spoke up and said, if you're going to give me 2, you might as well give me 3. He got 3. Wow. Some people know they cannot complete probation, so prefer to just do the time, usually because they know they won't pass a drug test. It does make sense to me. Well, yeah. There you go. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5. I once saw a guy with a camping grill in the passenger seat making pancakes while driving his little Pontiac as fast as he could muster down a busy highway. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Get over this man. He was on a trip to Flavor Town. Yeah, don't be jealous. You know what I mean?
I've seen people brushing their teeth while they're at the wheel.
I see women fucking putting on that bullshit ass makeup to try and look like less of a fucking bag when they go to their fucking places of work. Freaking gingerbread ass mask wearing female fucking goblins smearing all this shit all over your face to look like somebody else. Look like something you're not. You gotta get the lighting right, the shades right on your face, because you're scary and you're gonna make people vomit all over the place. But not if you make yourself look like someone else. You try your best, but is your best good enough when you get to work, girl? Ooh, girl. Maybe someone will look at you. Maybe they won't want to vomit too. Ooh. Oh, what a world, what a world. Number 4, I was at a house party, and we all crashed in the living room afterwards. I woke up early in the a.m. to get some water, and as I'm walking back to the couch, I see my friend pissing on his wife as she sleeps on a recliner. She wakes up and says, "Did you piss on me?" "Not again. You can't do that in someone else's house. Not again, not again." What you witnessed was clearly a glimpse into a beautiful relationship. Number 3. My friend used to like the smell of pencils, but not just plain pencils. Pencils that had been in the oven for a while.
I guess that's what the other person was talking about.
How did we go so meta that we're making responses to comments in this very post? Anyway, my friend used to like the smell of pencils that had been in the oven for a while. It would be weird to walk into a room and he'd be sniffing hot pencils.
I kind of get it.
Shut up. Shut up. You kind of get it. Hot pencils. Stripes kind of gets it. Yo, in case the people listening to this weren't going to turn that into a meme, yo, like, look, putting pencils in the oven and then sniffing them after, I kind of get it. Stripes. 2016.
I'm sorry.
Well,
It's just-
slap me sideways and stuff bees in my socks. I got one of those yellow things like the pencils he used to sniff. Also, there are surprising... I got one of those yellow things. What do you mean? Oh, he's talking about Guild. There are a surprising number of people who partake in pencil sniffing. Now I get lots of amazing stories about the oddities of people enjoy smelling of parts of their bodies that smell like pencils, and my top rated comment is now about smelling heated pencils.
There are parts of your body that smell like pencils.
Shut up. Number 3. God, my brain. Man, my brain. I don't want to think about this. I don't want to. God, what is this? What the hell is going on in the world, man? Number 3. You know, I was the one who got caught. I was listening to a lot of DMX at the time. What you niggas want? What do you mean, what's DMX? There's a song in an episode of Rick and Morty where Summer and Rick are getting really buff because they're gonna go kick the ass of that guy who was Satan in that shop, and the song that they're getting pumped to is a song by DMX. One of his bigger songs is X Gonna Give It To You. You ever hear that song?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. I feel like there was something in my eye here. Number 3. I was the one who got caught. I was listening to a lot of DMX at the time and was participating. No, that says practicing, Kyle. God, look at the screen maybe. My brain and my eyes are just flying all over the page. I apologize. And was practicing barking like him and practicing his raspy voice in what I thought was an empty room in my office. My coworker pokes his head around the corner and says, "Are you barking?" I was. Damn right, and I'll do it again. Sorry. Oh my god. What you niggas want? Knock, knock, open up the door. It's real. With the non-stop stainless steel. Look, the number 1 comment here is, I got caught. I caught somebody walking in on me masturbating. Ha 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 ha. Was it intentional, like a suicide wank? Oh god. When you're having a wank just before you blow the load and you shout out mom or dad, then try to finish the job before they get into your room. A friend tried a suicide wank and won. He did it and failed the second time. I can't imagine what failure is like. I'd imagine you'd get caught masturbating. I hope that this, thrilled somebody today while you assholes play Pokemon Go on your phones that can run it, because my phone can't run it. And instead of trying to piss Stripes off today, I'm just going to end the video sour and upset because, I should just kill myself right now. What do you have to say here, Stripes?
I didn't know suicide wanks were a thing.
I didn't understand that. Nobody did. What'd you say?
You should try it.
I should try what?
Well,
I should try what? Smelling hot pencils? This video's fucking over, man.